When Ryan first brought it up, I laughed. Not a soft laugh, but the kind that dripped with mockery. "Really?" I said, shaking my head. "You're jealous of Chris? He's my best friend. We've known each other since college. You're being ridiculous." Ryan's jaw tightened, but he didn't push it. He just nodded slowly and went quiet. The kind of silence that makes you realize words have done more damage than you thought. I remember telling my sister later that night, "Ryan's acting insecure. He thinks Chris is some kind of threat. It's so childish." She agreed with me, and I felt justified in brushing off his concerns. After all, Chris had been there for me through breakups, bad jobs, and even when Ryan and I first started dating. He was the one person I could always talk to without fear of judgment. But here's the thing. I didn't realize how it looked from the outside. Chris texted me constantly, and I always replied immediately. Sometimes I'd laugh at his jokes while Ryan and I were having dinner, leaving my husband staring at me from across the table. There were inside jokes, lingering hugs, and conversations that ended the moment Ryan walked into the room. I told myself it was harmless, but deep down, I knew it wasn't as innocent as I made it sound. Ryan tried again a few weeks later. "Megan," he said one night, "I need you to understand how this feels. It's like you're sharing parts of yourself with Chris that should belong to us, to me." I rolled my eyes, annoyed at his tone. "You're overreacting. He's just a friend. Stop trying to control who I talk to." That was the moment something in Ryan shifted. I saw it in his eyes. A quiet resolve, like he had just made a decision. But I was too busy feeling superior to notice. I thought I had won the argument, when in truth, the game had just begun. Over the next month, Ryan changed. Not in the explosive, dramatic way I expected after our fights, but in small, unsettling shifts. He stopped asking where I was going when I left to meet Chris. He no longer waited up for me when I came home late. The man who used to notice every detail about my day suddenly seemed distant, detached. At first, I thought it was progress. Finally, I told myself, he stopped obsessing. But it wasn't relief I felt. It was an eerie emptiness. His silence was heavier than any argument we'd ever had. Meanwhile, Chris was still there, texting, calling, inviting me out. I leaned into it more, almost out of spite. If Ryan wasn't going to care, then fine. I'd laugh louder at Chris's jokes, stay out later, share more secrets. But the more I poured into that friendship, the more I noticed how cold home had become. Dinners turned into quiet meals where Ryan barely looked at me. Nights ended with him rolling to his side of the bed without a word. Then one Friday, I came home from a night out with Chris and found Ryan in the living room, a suitcase beside him. My heart dropped. "What? What are you doing?" I asked, my voice cracking even though I tried to sound calm. He looked at me, not with anger, not with tears, but with something far worse, indifference. "I can't do this anymore, Megan," he said evenly. "I warned you. I told you how it made me feel, and you mocked me. I won't beg for respect in my own marriage." I froze. "Wait, you're leaving me over Chris? Are you serious?" My words tumbled out, desperate, but he didn't flinch. Ryan took a deep breath. "It's not about Chris. It's about you. You chose to make me the outsider in my own marriage, and I'm done." It felt like the floor gave way beneath me. I had always believed Ryan would never leave, that no matter how much I pushed, he'd stay. But standing there with his suitcase, he looked like a man who had already left me a long time ago. I stumbled toward him, panic rising in my chest. "Ryan, please don't do this. Chris is just a friend. I was wrong to make fun of you. I didn't mean it." My voice cracked. The sharp confidence I once carried now stripped bare. But Ryan just shook his head. "You don't get it, Megan. You didn't just make fun of me. You dismissed me. Dismissed my feelings like they were worthless. You laughed while I was drowning." His words landed like stones, heavy and undeniable. For the first time, I saw myself through his eyes. The dinners where I rolled mine at his questions, the nights I brushed off his concerns with a sarcastic laugh, the moments I chose Chris's validation over my husband's trust. Suddenly, it wasn't about jealousy or insecurity anymore. It was about betrayal. Not physical, but emotional. Deep and cutting. I tried to grab his hand. "We can fix this. Please, I'll stop seeing Chris. I'll do anything." Desperation laced every word. But Ryan pulled his hand away gently, like someone who had already made peace with their decision. "I gave you years, Megan," he said softly. "And I begged you to see me, but you never did. You only saw a jealous husband to mock. Now, I finally see myself. And I see that I deserve better." With that, he picked up the suitcase and walked out the door. The silence that followed was suffocating. I sank onto the couch, replaying every cruel laugh, every sarcastic jab, every time I chose to make him feel small instead of safe. Chris's text lit up my phone on the coffee table. But for the first time, I didn't care. His attention meant nothing in the face of what I had lost. I thought Ryan would always be there, no matter how much I pushed. But I was wrong. My mocking had carved a canyon between us. And when he finally crossed it, he didn't look back. That night, I realized, too late, that the man I had dismissed as jealous was actually the only one who truly loved me.